That's great, but we're missing this core of people that aren't going to go to college, that are going to end up out there in society and not have any idea what they want. I really think that we should be calling these electricians, these carpenters, these plumbers, and say, we got somebody here. We can pay the, if we have the money, we can pay them to work for you. And I really think too, we should be calling the parents and tell them, here's an opportunity for your son. I know of one son who graduated last year, said, I always wanted to be an electrician. He's sitting home on his couch right now. I think if we had to motivate him younger, these are the type of people that we're going to be paying for the rest of our lives in society, probably. I mean, we need to reach out to these people. I mean, I can't believe Randy Novotny or Dave Catrick, I've talked to both of them lately, they can't get enough help. I'm sure they'd love to have somebody come like this, and I don't know, I guess that's just my thought, but I think that's the wave of the future. We need to be taking care of these kids better. These kids could make so much more money than somebody who went to college. If I had to do it all over again, I certainly wouldn't go to college. I'd have been an electrician or a carpenter. You can charge whatever you want now. It's not like it just happened because of this boom. It's been that way for 2 or 3 years. And
Dan,
we have to motivate them.
Having kids in the school right now, I know that Sarah works very closely with students on internship opportunities that help lead to some of those things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's hard to force a path on somebody, but I think collectively between Sarah and Mr. Ashman and sort of Joanna's connection with the students, if there is an opportunity and a desire, I mean, the kids have to have the desire to do the work and pursue it. I think the school has done a considerable amount to try to make those opportunities available. For this summer specifically, that's a different beast, and there is some funding available to support it. But
yeah, and Nicole, I agree. I mean, I had an intern from the school, helping me with some projects at work, and that was a collaborative effort between Mr. Ashman and Principal Pickering and identifying a student. It was very successful. But again, I think it's a really good point that the students also have to want that in order for it to be successful. And I do agree that, the principals and really our whole team at the school has done a good job of promoting that and identifying students when those opportunities are available.
Well, I guess my next question, you said you got to motivate them. Certainly the parents will motivate them if they know about it, probably. I mean, they probably like the kid out of the house and just laying around all day.
Like my kid's out of the house.
Yeah.
So I think we're at a good first step there with offering some employment opportunities within the school itself for the summer. I think that's a great first step.
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job. And so then I'll talk about the other ESSER. There's not a lot to update because of a lot of different reasons I'll explain in my superintendent's report, but I'll give some more updates about the ESSER funding in my superintendent report.
And I have one more thing to add to that. I mean, if Mrs. Pickering is the principal, I don't see how she has time for all this. This is what a guidance counselor should be doing, isn't it? Isn't that their job?
To do what?
To be contacting the people and lining stuff up for these kids?
No, generally, like if we looked at Burton Academy or we looked at other schools, they actually have career counselors now, and then directors of internships. I don't know if we would have, if we're a large enough district to support a career counselor. Maybe we could look into doing a part-time something, and that's something we certainly have. Again, I'm going to give the ESSER funds, but yeah, generally that's a not a guidance counselor's job, but that's a job on their own now.
When the state of Vermont recognized, and you're exactly right, Dan, that there is a growing need. I think our tech centers across the state are seeing that there's more and more students interested in some of the electrical, plumbing, auto repair, finishing jobs, and are inquiring about that more. And we certainly have a great partnership with our technical center. The state of Vermont recognized that guidance counselors, now called school counselors, are also inundated with scheduling. So there is an actual certification now that is called work-based learning coordinator. And it's a certification program, a licensed person who is doing those kinds of things within schools and trying to connect kids. So because we're small, we try at Arlington to identify teachers who have relationships with certain kids and try to get them to talk to students about what their next career path might be. And sometimes it's even like a middle school teacher like Brian Howe that they're still connected with, who's the one who's having those conversations. But we can always, be more open and improve our ways of connecting kids to local community work placements for sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess my other question is, we should be reaching out to parents and ask them, what do you foresee for your kid when he graduates here? Is there something we can do? I mean, is he into being an electrician? Is he into plumbing? What do you think we could do for you, I guess, as a school?
And Dan, too, one thing is, I know when I had an intern, I went to Principal Pickering and said, I have identified an opportunity for an internship where a high school student could fit in and fit within the confines of what they're allowed to do legally, and help me out on a project. And this is specifically what they're going to learn while they're doing that internship, so that we're sure that we're tracking. It's not just a warm body that's going someplace for half the day, right? That they're clearly learning something. And it was a lot of work as an employer to ensure that we were all getting value, like all parties. The school got value out of it, the student got value out of it, and I got value out of it, and my employer got value. So I think that one of the important things to note there is that if there are if there are employers in the community that feel that they could use an intern and could get value out of that and are willing to put that work in, that it would be very worthwhile for them to contact the school and have that discussion, because it is kind of a two-way street where it's a little hard sometimes to reach out to an employer and say, hey, do you want an intern? What are they going to do? But to have that two-way street. So if there are electricians or plumbers or anybody out there, if you're watching this on GNAT, that are interested, I think it would be great for them to contact the school and have that discussion as well. So kind of from both sides.
Yeah, that's great, Matt, but none of them are watching. It can't hurt us to call them, or write them a letter and say, hey, would you like a kid?
That's definitely, it sounds like there's a lot of good ideas that have come up and things that can be followed up on.
Yeah, definitely good input. Thank you.